Good morning. Uh, Now, my name's Michael Hernan, and got hat hair, not good. So, yeah, my name's Michael Hernan, and I'm a country singer from Australia. And I'm over in Nashville, Tennessee at the moment, and I don't know, I just thought I'd come on here and have a talk about what I'm doing, give you a little behind the scenes of, I suppose, what's sort of happened since everything. I don't know if any of you guys have sort of followed along since the earlier videos where I'm just sort of doing stuff in my house, in the bedroom, that kind of thing. But it's been a bit of a crazy year, to be frank. So I suppose while I'm sipping my morning coffee, I'll give you like a bit of a rundown of what's going on. I hope it's interesting. If you wanted to sort of see a bit more of what I'm doing, then this is the place right here. So basically, what are we now? We're like May 13th, 2025, right? Last year, I was doing a wedding in January, and at this stage, I was just basically gigging in pubs. I was posting YouTube covers every now and then, just sort of when inspiration struck. And yeah, I was playing this wedding and had a family friend of ours, basically just reach out and say, hey, there's this cool songwriting workshop that you might want to check out. You know, it's something to do with Nashville and you know, it's you know, country music. So, and that was what I was pretty much doing at the time. You know, I basically stick to playing country gigs, and you know, although I appreciate other kinds of music, it's just like that's what I keep coming back to. And so, yeah, basically I applied for this. It was called Song Hubs, Melbourne to Nashville. And for those who don't know, I'm from a town about 3.5 hours away from Melbourne. So yeah, that was a pretty big opportunity for somebody that just kind of didn't really have many opportunities to sort of, you know, write with other people and sort of just expand the horizons a little bit. And so yeah, I basically applied for it and got it. It was curated by an Aussie dude who had moved to Nashville and became really successful in his own right, in the music industry as a songwriter and a producer. And I eventually got in. I submitted a video of mine. I was quite surprised that I got in because, again, like just writing songs in the bedroom, I wasn't even really focusing on it. I didn't see it as a career choice. I was pretty much just full-blown covers at that point. We did an early Zoom session. That was wild because I was the greenest person in that group. Like I was like so new to the industry and everything. I knew nothing about it. And yeah, I was in there amongst like, you know, golden guitar winners, you know, just very, very established artists that sort of already found their niche, and they were talented writers. And, you know, even in writing, I was new. And so I was extremely intimidated. Felt like a fish out of water, but it was great to meet everybody and didn't quite know what to expect. So the day obviously comes around and I travel up to Melbourne, and we're there for 3 nights, 4 days, and we wrote songs on a cool little vineyard. A lot of cool shit happened there. Wrote a damn cool bunch of songs, met some great people. Wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. Yeah, made some really cool lifelong friends there, so that was amazing. I made great friends with the producer-songwriter as well. Yeah, we just made cool music. There was a song that we wrote, which will be coming out at some point, where we were basically just sitting back drinking beers beforehand at a restaurant. We got pretty half cut, and then we came back and wrote that shit, and it was just great. It was great vibes. and I was so happy with it. We had a showcase night at the end of that songwriting workshop, and I sort of was chatting to Lindsay at one point, the producer songwriter, and I told him I almost had fucking tears in my eyes. I tell you, no joke. Yeah, I remember telling him, like, look, dude, I don't care if I go to Nashville from this workshop. Like, either way, I would love to, but like, regardless, this has been a fantastic experience, and you've helped me basically find what I want to do for the rest of my life. And it was seriously like that, like a light switch had just gone off, and I just fucking loved it. It was just the best. So yeah, after it had all ended, didn't hear much back, and then I think it was in May, I sort of heard back that I'd be one of the 5 of the original 10 that went to this workshop that would go to Nashville. It was like an all expenses paid thing, and it was only for the week, but I extended out my trip to like maybe 2.5 weeks or something like that. Yeah, we did the sessions, and it was really good. Wrote some interesting songs that sort of came out during some stuff that I was going through at that point, and it was just very, very rewarding. And the thing about it, looking back on it now, is that it was very curated as well, meaning that I sort of had my daily schedule of what was happening, and sort of every day was sort of accounted for. So it didn't leave a lot of room to explore Nashville and truly experience what like the real Nashville is, which has been something that's been so beautiful about this trip. Because I've been over here since the 27th of April, and I'm over here until I leave the 9th of June. So there's a good like month and a bit of just sort of day-to-day living where I really wanted to focus on, you know, keeping good habits and just, you know, remaining headstrong. Because obviously I'm over here by myself. You know, I'm a long way from home, and you know, there's people at home that I miss, and it's definitely a good taste of you know, what life over here is like, and it's cool. That was basically it. Had the trip. The second week I caught up with my producer buddy of mine, and we wrote a song, and then basically it was home. And then at that point my brain couldn't even perceive the idea of coming back over here. Like, I knew I was going to do it, but the actual like imagining of what it would look like, I had no idea. And you know, being a dude from a town where essentially I really had no interest in, at the time, of traveling internationally, or, you know, I'm not a big travel guy, but that's definitely changed. You know, like I think the furthest I had ever been away from home was I flew to Queensland a couple times as a kid, and that was it. Like, that's pretty much it. I think I drove to Adelaide, you know, like I wasn't a big traveller. And so, and I thought, you know, Melbourne was intimidating. Like, you know, there's shit tons of people there. Like, it was really cool to sort of just absolutely blow the doors open with TNT and just fucking rip the Band-Aid off. We're going to Nashville, solo travel, let's go, no friends. It's great. But I'd highly recommend anybody who wants to travel, try to do it by yourself. It's not as bad as you might think, and you definitely learn things about yourself along the way. There's something about this trip in particular where I've got songwrites planned in the coming weeks, but until then I've basically just been staying busy, heading out to bars in Nashville, just meeting people and just sort of getting acquainted and trying to assimilate. You know, it's different for an Aussie over here, just because, you know, as Americanized as you might think we are, it's like they do have their own culture and you know, their own topics of conversation that they're into, and you just got to get used to that and learn it. And And no, it's been really, really good. I tend to think of myself as, and I shouldn't, because I don't know. I always like do it. But like I never thought of myself as like a people person where I could just, you know, walk into a room and fucking make best buddies with everybody, that kind of thing. It's like the longer that I'm over here and the more that I do it, it's like you just become very capable. And you know, people here get it. You know, they've been new to town at one point and they know what it's like to try and make friends and sort of find people to have in your circle. And that was honestly my main goal of this trip, was to find people to come back to when I'm here. But yeah, so I'm staying here at a nice hostel. It's in a pretty nice neck of the woods. It's very quiet here, which is nice. People keep to themselves. You know, it's got a nice outdoor area and it's cool. There's some cool people here. But yeah, no, it's just a good time. Lindsay and I rode over Zoom because if you can't tell, I'm recovering from a cold. I went to Florida 3 days after I got here, and we flew out to Key West, right at the bottom of the country. It's a beautiful spot. It's like very tropical, and you know, it's bougie. It's pretty cool. And there was a songwriter festival down there where basically all of the songwriters of cool shit that you've heard, like, you know, it could be like a Lainey Wilson song, it could be a Morgan Wallen song, Luke Combs, all that kind of shit. All the songwriters behind those songs came out and, you know, just played. And some of them are, you know, well-known songs, some of them you haven't heard before, but yeah, it was just amazing, and it's a great place to meet people and other songwriters. And I got to get up and play with my mate Lindsay, and not many people can go a year into their career and sort of be up on stage there singing a song. So I'm forever grateful for sort of everybody that I'm involved with, and you know, they really believe in me and they think we can do great stuff, and I'm with them. We'll shoot for the stars and see where we land. But definitely when I came back, I was run down. Look, I'm 28. I have had too many 5 a.m. nights where I would get up at like 8 a.m. for breakfast or something like that. Too many of them. And, you know, obviously you can't do that for a long period of time. So I was hit by a cold and taken out for a week. So, yeah. Lindsay and I wrote a pretty cool song over Zoom. He wasn't looking to get sick. So I'll share some footage of that, like, now.
You keep blowing up my phone when the midnight comes, but it ain't enough. I ain't gonna be your last call lover when the night is over and you're drunk and lonely. You ain't gonna take your goodbye back, thinking I'll just forget all the shit you told me.